Hello there, Josh here from Racing to Profit. This video I'm going to try and quickly whiz through. The ITV races on Saturday, all from the flat, all for thoroughly unexposed horses. And while I don't think I'll be diving in, I want to just flick through to try and add some value to your Saturday racing experience and to see if I say anything which may enlighten you or help you to land on a winner or two. I'll make my face disappear for the time being. The first thing I'm going to say, I know I can kind of talk slowly at times and ramble along. If you ever are watching one of these videos on YouTube, if you click the settings cog down here with any video, not just mine, I think any video on YouTube, and you can change the playback speed. So the settings cog there, playback speed. And I think I did try it out with one of my videos and I still sounded relatively normal at 1.25 times the speed. But obviously rattles on a bit quicker. You can try 1.5. So if I am talking a bit too slowly and you're wishing I would hurry up, you can try that out, which might be useful and make some of my videos more bearable for you, especially if you're in a rush. Let's crack on. There's the weather-wise, weather watch, potentially some rain around. Newbury could be good to soft. Well, it's good to soft at the moment. Newmarket good to soft. They could have some rain. I'm recording this Friday afternoon at about 4 p.m. They could have both showers through the evening and through the day tomorrow, so do keep that in mind. Don't forget you can be a free registered GG's user or sign up, links below the video, and there'll be some free tools you can use. And one of the benefits of said tools is that you can change the going if it does rain, and that affects all the data underneath said stats, so that's always interesting and useful if you so please. What we're going to start with, the Carnavan Stakes listed contest. What should we highlight here? There's a couple of trainers who are in red hot form. Well, appear to so. Certainly Appleby from a place perspective, and 70% of rivals beaten. So potentially he's not having as many winners as you would expect, and maybe they will start flowing again soon enough. Interesting, his Newbury record. That may just be something to note more generally throughout the rest of the card today. This horse, who knows? But he doesn't send many here. And his stats in the last 5 years and the last year would suggest his runners at Newbury are generally worth a second glance. Andrew Balding, as I record this, have fired in a few winners, and I think these stats, once they update overnight, I think, or in a couple of hours' time, will look even better. But Balding's on fire. T Ward, I'm not sure if that's a Tom, possibly Trevor, possibly Tom, I'm not 100% sure, but he may be worth keeping an eye on. Again, not necessarily for this race. I mean, if you look here, he's had 18 winners in the last 365 days, and 4 of them, 5 in the last 30 days and 4 in the last 14, which would suggest an upturn in form, whether or not he's got horses that have matured or had illness and they're going better, or a change of facilities, change of staff, whatever. Some decent stats there, so he might be a trainer who's red hot form, and he's not a kind of sexy profile, sexy name you'd home in on like an Appleby or a Balding, which can mean the prices of his horses could be sent off bigger prices than they should be, and that's what these actual versus expected would certainly be indicating. Anything over 1.0 suggesting they're great value, so that his runners may be worth a watch and a weigh in for the next couple of weeks. The fact that he's booked Tom Marquand may be interesting as well. You can see some records there also. This obviously a listed race. Official ratings are important. Tactical on what they've done has to give away a £3 penalty, of course, but on official ratings looks the one to beat. But obviously you can go through, maybe Michel Starr will be a bit kind of out of his depth here, but who knows? Funny things can happen in these races. If I switch this and just keep the going as good to soft, you can see that record there on the flat. Note that down, do what you want with it. In terms of proven forming conditions, Tactical and Happy Romance, they're the two Class 1 winners in the race as well. Do with that as you please. Let's have a look at the pace map. No, not loads of pace, so this could turn tactical, could turn into a sprint. Who's the classy horse? Who's got the quickest turn of gear? Can James Doyle or Ryan Moore steal this from the front? Not impossible, and you can see the pace map there for that. So that's the 150 at Newbury, the first race on the ITV of the afternoon. We then switch over to the 205 at Newmarket, another listed race, 3-year-olds, very lightly raced, 2 last time out winners on official ratings so far. Fancy Man of Hannon's is the one to beat, but these horses can take giant strides forward in a matter of time. But clearly, yes, keeping an eye on ratings. Again, penalty to give away, which may be difficult. Will that help the Sir Mark Todd, the ex Olympian eventer? How's he been doing? Not too bad, hasn't had many runners in the last 30 days, maybe of some mild interest. David Probert, just interest on ratings wise, probably will come on maybe for his couple of runs, who knows, or maybe not, because he won on his return in March. That's maybe interesting in the sense that Mark Todd can clearly ready them. David Probert, he's always a jockey, generally, again, just worth keeping an eye on, as a kind of jockey who doesn't steal the limelight. As a way in, I mean, he rides winners at all kinds of prices for all sorts of different connections. And in the last 30 days, 19 from 104, 37 places, 58% rivals beat them, 108 points profit, 108 quid if you put a pound on all of them. That includes some big priced winners, I think. Trainer jockey combo in the last year, Sir Mark Todd and David Probert, 6 from 26, 11 places is he his go-to man. So some interest there. I mentioned Tom, I think it's Tom Ward, Mr. T Ward before, as a lesser trainer on the way in. David Probert, in my mind, is vastly underestimated as a jockey, and if you like ways into your betting and punting, using trainers and jockeys, etc., outside of just horses, isn't necessarily a bad way, and we all may have our favourites. Mark Johnson has done well here in the last year. This is a kind of race you wouldn't necessarily go mad on, but if you're playing in the ITV7 or PlaySpot or whatever, clearly have a bit of a closer look on ratings. Hannon's may be tough to beat, stepping from a Group 3 into this listed. Still with the odd question though, although clearly won't mind the rain, or if there is more rain, if it goes soft. A few stepping up in trip who may improve for it, who had breaks. A competitive little race. Where is the pace? Johnston Horse and Franny Norton may get a freebie on the front end, always dangerous. You can see here, generally on this sort of ground, prominent and leading is important at the Newmarket Rolly course. These front two, will they have it between them? David Probert there, so you can look at that and do what you please. There's clearly the speed ratings down the side as well, and again, Fancy Man, big gap back to the rest. See the Shells hasn't got a rating as yet. So that's the 205 at Newmarket. Anything I want to say here? These report angles, that's just highlighting the trainer jockey hot form. This race last time out has worked out well. This is clearly a step up in class, but maybe worth looking at. What else do we have? 225 at Newbury. Let's rattle through this. William Haggis is in fine form, as you can see there. 7 from 27, 15 place in the last 14 days, 16 from 60, 31 in the last 30, banging in the winners, 68% of rivals beaten. That's probably something to take away from this. Fit in form, trainer in form. Again, he has a penalty to give away. This is this is a Group 3, Class 1, Group 3. Again, ratings on what these horses have achieved to date. You can see the ratings there. A couple down here have it all to do technically. In terms of trainers in form, Haggis, John and Sadie Gosden have gone quiet for their standards, given their 4 from 37, 12 places, only a kind of 10-11% win strike rate, their 365 day average. Now these stats are just since they went on the joint license, but still interesting enough. And yes, there's been a slight drop-off in percentage of rivals beaten as well. So that might be worth noting. Some of them can obviously be over bet. But you can look down there. What else? Is there anything else here to kind of take a snippet at? Manusio, though, is not firing in the winners at the moment, but then not doing overly badly either. Who else do we want to look at? What else do I want to look at? The pace map, you can see there. Pause that. Do what you want with it. That's how they should line up if going along with historic running styles on their last 4 starts. And you can see who may be advantaged or not by the kind of traffic lights up here for who's done well in good to soft 5 to 8 runners, all races over this course and distance. The Instant Expert, you can see there a bit of green, a bit of flat, class 1, etc. So you might want to look at that, of course. Also pause, do what you want. You can drop down in here and see where this win was. That was in a group 3, etc, etc. Is there anything else I should highlight? The speed rating, again, there you go. I'm doing this, I've removed the odds so it doesn't kind of persuade me one way or the other. So I've got no idea as I flick through these what are the prices of some of these horses, but I should rattle on. 10 minutes, I've only got through 3. Let's go over to the 240. Back to the Newmarket Rolly Mull, another listed race, another small field. Who's in form? We've seen Appleby there previously. Rafe Beckett's there, going along okay. Rafe Beckett and Ross Orion, generally just a trainer-jockey combo worth tracking in the last year. 23 from 86, 41 places, 65% rivals beaten, £28 to £1 stakes if you'd have backed them all. Always a decent kind of look and a way in, and Beckett's done well with Hector Crouch in the last year as well. They are his 2 main go-to jockeys, so those stats may level off a bit now. He's got first time blinkers, again lightly raced, last time out winner, once raced. You know, these horses are open to any amount of improvement. They're not the kind of races I'd dive into punting wise, although as I've said before, outside of kind of staying chases, there aren't many other than kind of fun interest change when watching TV, as with York in the last week, although even this sort of race doesn't tempt me in for even that purpose. But maybe one of you or some of you out there will find a way in, and something of note. I should click the Instant Expert. Nothing there with proven form in good to soft or soft, and if it rains, no, nothing with winning form. Who's got placed form on good to soft or soft? Is that important? The others haven't had many goes, so hard to know. Obviously there's breeding. Thank You Next, 2 from 2 in terms of places at the track. That may be important, but again, you can look at that, observe, do what you wish. The pace map, always important. Well, Jane Chapel Harmon, Richard Kingscote, he's going to be able to lead. Beckett's is in first time blinkers and usually races forward. Will these 2 get into a scrap, or will they be sensible and the rest are just are in trouble because these will dictate and then kick into the dip, out of the dip? Maybe worth an interest. That is an interesting pace map. So yeah, that's that. I think that's all I should touch on that race. Is there any kind of report angle I could click? Trainer snippets on their second start. So Jane Chapel Holmes can come on for a second start, although this one won on debut, which might be a signal in itself, possibly. Obviously, you can check the form. You know, this race hasn't worked out that well as yet, and that ground was good to firm. So a few questions there. But yes, do with that as you please. The speed rating sorted by order top to bottom. Bellissima, Belosa. You know, there's a few quite closely related, or rated, I should say, there. Over to the 3 o'clock at Newbury. Go. What do I want to say here? Again, you can look at the trainer stats. So Michael Stout's in half decent form. Doesn't do too badly with horses first time in the handicap, although you have to pick them because they're generally over bet. Sire snippets, there's some sire snippets there for this horse. Who's his sire? Newbury. You know, some interest there maybe. What else have we got? Charlie Appleby with last time out winners, 32% win strike rate. Again, you need to pick them, but it can get them to follow up. Richard Hannon, this one's got hot form in the last, from that form. Oh yeah, that was a race horse I touched on earlier that ran in that race as well. Was that the Ward horse? And yeah, so again, 3-year-olds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 last time out winners. There's 7 of these with 5 or fewer career runs, a few with 3 or fewer. You know, open to any amount of improvement. What's going to happen? Who knows? Speed ratings. This one's got a 147. That strikes me as an anomaly. Or is King Frankel just going to bolt up? Or has he got the rating from his dad? Who knows? I'm not quite sure what's happened there. You don't often see a number like that, so I'm not quite sure if that's a true reflection or not. Maybe it is. Greystoke in there, 108. That's of interest, maybe. again got hot form in the last 60 days, etc. Different races have worked out well. Here comes on the back of a 3-timer. Will he handle the ground? Let's click on Instant Expert. Let me sort it by race card order again. Hugo Palmer's are going well. As you can see there, he does fairly well with horses first starting a handicap. So all these little snippets you can note down for either this race or the future. What else do I want to touch on? Yeah, like I said, Andrew Balding now refreshes. His form has updated. These stats have updated here with a few winners he's fired in Friday afternoon and counting. What else do I want to do to help you out? Yes, Instant Expert, good to soft, through to soft. Let's say some rain comes at Newbury. You can see those with proven winning form. River Alwyn's the only one with proven winning form in good to soft, through to soft. Will the ground dry out? Will more rain come? You can see those that have got placed form. Class, the course, plenty with the distance isn't a problem. This is a handicap, of course. We'll see a sea of grey here because loads of these are making handicap debut. So, you know, another competitive race, possibly a bit too much guessing. But yeah, if you like to play the ITV7 or play spots or whatever, or using pace maps to try and predict forecasts, you name it. But you can see the pace map there. Who's going to be near the front? Frankie might get to dictate. King Frank or Joe Fanning, I doubt, would be too far away, and so on and so forth. So you can do with that as you please. Let me rattle through. I've got 2 races left. Back to Newmarket, 3:15. We'll start with the pace map, should we? As that's what's come up here. Again, not massive sample sizes in this particular setup. Will it dry out? If it does dry out, it can pay to be a bit more prominent. It's obviously 6 furlongs. If we sort by the draw, one's going to be against the inside rail, which will be far side, because Rowley's right-handed as you look. So far side number 1 against technically the inside rail, fanning out across the track, which may... trying to look in reverse order, but in any case, being around here and prominent has been no bad thing. There's Just Frank, Operatic, who looks like a non-runner, Richard Hannon and Thorhammer Hansen. You've got Franny Norton, who can go forward, of course. So we shall see how this race pans out, but you can use that pace map and do what you please with it. We have, that's good to soft. Let's go through to soft. Let's look at winning form. Let's just do all races. That will include maidens as well. You can see Just Frank ticks a few boxes at the top. Is he weighted to the hilt in the handicap? He's open to attack from better treated horses, of course, but he's proven in conditions, and so on and so forth. And you can see those again, track form down here. Have a look, have a ponder. Maybe it will not get that soft. Maybe it will be just good through to good to soft. And again, you can pause on that. Do with that as you please. This is a handicap. Again, lots of grey, lots of red, suggesting horses that are very unexposed and lightly raced in handicaps. Another 3-year-old only handicap, an absolute minefield. Not necessarily a guesser's race, but a puzzle, and a difficult one, because some of these horses will take massive strides forward. And plenty are arriving in form. So maybe this is more the kind of race to look at, observe for the future. Will this turn into a hot form race? You can see the speed ratings here, GG speed ratings, which are useful on flat track, on sprint distances, especially 5 furlong. Well, not too bad at 6. There's 2 half decent numbers there, and 3, 98, 100, 106. You might want to take a closer look at those horses. Adam Kirby, I've just spotted that green 14. He's riding well. He's riding with confidence, in form. What else do I want to say as I flick through this? He's a non-runner. Brian Meehan's in form. I think I flagged that in another video as well. 4 from 15, 7 places. So his horse may be worth a look. First time blinkers, second run back after a break. Interesting, maybe. Maybe the horse will blow a gasket and do too much. Who knows? Anyway, something there. Nicola Curry, she's riding well. Just spotted that green 14. Again, she's underestimated as a rider, and certainly is riding with confidence in the last 30 days. Trainer-jockey combo, not great at the moment. Her course record, well, she's maybe starting to ride this place a bit better. But yeah, Nicola Curry's a decent jockey, and she can be underestimated as well. And one final race, I tick round to 3:35 at Newbury before I be quiet. And again, what have we got here? Oh yes, the lock-in stakes. Let's sort by official rating. Palace Pier, we can see there, 125. I haven't looked at the market. I assume he's going to be in as a short price favourite. Ground doesn't matter. Classy horse. Clearly a solid Group 1 performer and still open to improvement this year. Given he won last time out, the slight dip in trainer form, yard form wouldn't necessarily worry me, but you've got official ratings there. Some of these down here are clearly going to struggle and may lack the class. What else should I say? Anything else to point out as I tick round to 20 minutes? The Aidan O'Brien team are going along okay, as you can see there. Ryan Moore is just on fire. Andrew Balding we've touched on. William Haggis, Roger Varians are going well enough, as you can see there as well, and so on and so forth. William Jarvis, he kind of decent trainer, been going along well in the last month as well. He can do the job if he gets the horses, and so on and so forth. Speed rating is here, so you can look at those and do what you want with those. Instant Expert, let's say it's good to soft. Will it go through to soft? This isn't a handicap, so this is all form class 1s. As you can see there, that's winning form. Pause, do what you want. Place, win and place form. Again, you can see there, so on. There's lots of green, rather competitive. I mean, certainly if this was a handicap, it'd be very competitive. But, on the ratings, there's clearly one horse in the race and the rest have to step up to it. But he has to run up to his form, obviously. And I think that's that. Is it? What was I thinking? Yeah, so one clear horse on ratings. The rest, if he runs his race, improves. The rest clearly need to step forward. But maybe there's some each way option you might find if you wish to play. Looking at the pace map, the 1 mile. We can see how that's going to pan out there. Lord Campari may go forward under Azzini, Pogo. These kind of group races, pace still matters, of course, but if you're classier and you've got faster legs, you can obviously sit in wherever you want, or doesn't really matter sometimes if you just outclass your opposition. But I think that is a rattle through. 7 races, ITV. Hopefully I've said something that's useful, possibly for today, possibly not, because of the race types. Lots of unexposed horses, lots of headaches, lots of horses unproven in conditions who may step forward for conditions, etc. But with any luck, I may have said something about a trainer, a jockey, a report angle, a pace element that you can take away for the next few weeks, or indeed the rest of the season, and dig a bit further if you wish, etc. So with that said, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Don't forget, you can speed me up if I haven't been quick enough or talking quick enough for you. Also, don't forget to click the big red subscribe button below this video so you are alerted when future videos drop. And there's various links in the description below the video as well, also, that you can check out. But for now, have a great weekend. The pubs finally reopen, where we can go inside and get away from the cold on Monday. So we all have that to look forward to. But with that said, this is Josh saying thanks for watching. I'll bring my face back. Yes, this is Josh saying thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. And until the next time, bye for now and best of luck with all your bets.